Hello! Welcome to Here Be Dragons. This is a new thing we're trying that's a mini-sode.
It's a mini-sode. Welcome
It's
to
a
the
mini-sode.
Here Be Dragons Artcast mini-sode.
Yeah, so this is going to be a little bit different. We're going to talk about things that happened in the art world and interesting topics that are different from our regular episodes. This is where you'll see sponsorships, so if anybody wants to sponsor us, you're more than welcome to do so. We'll take questions from artists that they might think we might answer, and
we might cover previous guests episodes and give our thoughts on the previous guests and things like that. So it's just giving our opinions and especially on our previous guests, but maybe on also on what do you call them, products that we're using, things that we're using, things that we enjoy, things that we think could go better or something like that. So sponsorships and reviews, we could definitely utilize this as a mini-sode for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited. We're excited. This is they're gonna be shorter. They're gonna be 20 to 30 minutes or so. Just kind of fill in some content that we don't get to talk about during our regular episodes. We have so much to talk about that we couldn't cram it into the hour-long ones a week. So we decided to try some mini episodes.
Hey, Carla, we both have kitties in our.
We do. Video. Yours is way more interesting because it's alive. Mine is on metal and not done yet.
Both of their eyes seem to be glowing a little bit.
Right? I mean, I could definitely turn it and get a little. There we go. Get a light flash on that.
This is Caradwen. She found my little D&D nook here, and she's been loving it. Rubbing up against the D&D books. So.
Love the books. Yeah. D&D books need love too.
Yes, they do.
So what interesting thing happened this week, Alan?
Interesting things happening this week. One of our I say friend because
friend of the show.
He's a friend on my Facebook, but also supportive of his work. Purchased some of his work at Kansas City Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City when I was up there this last year. Stephen Najaran, probably.
Nathan's helping him this week at Gen Con right now. He's helping him set up. So.
Oh, sweet. Oh, hi, Nala. And so, I guess there's some interesting things happening with auto tagging. Is this specifically Meta?
I think so. Yeah. Meta seems to be auto tagging artists' work as being AI.
Yeah, and that's and I get somebody put in the comments of his post about if the software that you use has any AI integration, it automatically skews that percentage into if they know if the software recognizes that it's from Photoshop or whatnot, it's automatically gonna skew that towards AI generation.
AI. Yeah, which is frustrating because most of these programs now have AI integration into it. I think Procreate is still is safe, but if you use anything with Photoshop, which is still the top of the industry one, anything with the Adobe suite, Canva has AI integrated, which means that I don't know if that'll affect the Affinity products.
Yeah,
because is that going to be the same company and the same label?
Yeah, Steven uses Procreate quite a bit from stuff that I've seen, his reels and stuff that I've seen. But a lot of artists do a lot of their touch-ups and finishing touches in Photoshop and in
even my traditional work is all filtered into Photoshop, so I could do any of the cleaning up or repairing or removing the big long dog hair that ends up in the middle of my art when I'm scanning it and stuff like that. I mean, that's all still done in Photoshop, even if the artwork is traditional.
And I'm just kind of curious if this auto tagging derived from the need for which actually benefits a lot of people with maybe some
visual impairments,
visual impairments with alt text. So potentially Meta incorporates a lot of AI to do a lot of different things that normally a person would do with alt text and stuff like that. So I think this seems like almost like an integrated alt text AI kind of thing, which sucks because if it gets it wrong, like how are you supposed to argue with Meta's, because their customer service is pretty much
Yeah, you've got to pay for the little blue check mark, and that's how you can get. But again, that's now we're paying for something else, right? Now we're
but it's
paying
AI customer service on top.
But it's AI customer service. Yep.
Yeah, they have modded out their entire a majority of their industry to be streamlined by AI but unfortunately it just, as with people, it doesn't do that great of a job.
Well, and that's really hard on artists right now because AI is such a hot button topic that if somebody, I mean, people are using it as a derogatory term, as a low hanging fruit to, if they don't like an artist or an artist upsets them, or, that's the first thing they say is, oh, you use AI. And that on the smallest end means that now we're having to spend energy, time, and possibly money defending the fact that we're not AI artists.
Yeah.
Or the worst part of it, you could be dropped for contracts, you could be rejected, you could lose your career over this right now.
You could be asked to leave the convention that you paid money for.
Absolutely.
Because somebody could see this auto tagging, bring it up to the convention head, and they'd be like, this guy is selling AI products, and how would the convention head know any different?
Right. Especially so much of us do things with Instagram and Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. And I had made a comment on Steven's post about them. It almost feels like, and somebody else had said this, that it almost feels like they're trying to normalize AI usage.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think it's that nefarious, but I didn't think a lot of things either that have turned out to be true. But it still is said it's normalizing the fact that your favorite artists, even though they're working traditionally, even though they've been working in the arts for 20, 30 years, are using AI, and they're not.
Well, and they're just trying to edge it. Edge of that digital art is that all digital art is AI in some way. Just like, and this is like a false equivalency where they're like, with data centers and stuff like that. Well, your cell phone and you're
on Facebook. That's all
you're
AI.
on Facebook and social media, and that's like the equivalency of a minivan to a bulldozer, right? With these data centers, with the amount of power consumption, and so they're trying to like subversively integrate. They've already integrated AI, especially with Meta and some other places. They've already integrated these AI into nearly every system program that they have to automate it.
Well, and there's something like deeply disturbing and ironically poetic about AI calling out artists using AI in order to not fool people by using AI, but it's AI that's doing the calling out, and it's AI doing the analyzing, and it's AI right? Like we're in like this circle jerk of AI that we almost can't break out of.
Circle jerk of AI. That's a good way to put it.
Right?
Just
I was gonna make a joke about you edging, but we're just gonna go straight to the
makes me think of a bunch of T1000s and T800s just like in a
This is definitely an explicit episode. I'd like to apologize ahead of time for the things that we were discussing.
We get really sweary here on the Here Be Dragons Artcast.
The minisodes are going to be no holds bar. We're just not going to care.
We're dropping a lot of F-bombs, and we're going to drop a lot of
exactly.
AI innuendo.
Exactly.
Speaking of innuendo, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Speaking of innuendo, so we had kind of a reel go a little mini viral on our Instagram.
That stirred up some big feelings in a whole lot of people that have never heard of us before.
Yeah, and just clarifying, we were talking about how like the con bubble is experiencing like a little bit of blowout in some areas and blowing up, where, you know, people are trying to maximize these the convention scene, you know, to get as much money as they can.
The big con owners.
Right. And one of the comments was like furries and anime cons are just sex clubs. And I was just like,
No,
we're consensual kinks are I'm sure there are adults there with consensual kinks, but for the most part, furries
but they're at all conventions.
Furries and anime people.
You get more than 10 adults in a room, and there's going to be consensual kinks going on, right?
Yeah, they're just people who appreciate fandoms and nostalgia and want to live in that experience, just like any other cosplayer. And you know,
and I'll defend furries till the end. I'm furry tangent. I've done furry, but they're lovely. 99% of them are lovely people. I've only had difficult run-ins with one or two people per con. They're passionate about when they find an artist that they love, and and that's incredible.
And they support the communities and the things that they want to see thrive. Mm-hmm. And they're a really strong community as far as like where growth of that community exists and stuff. But
it did make me happy that like most of the comments were positive. Most of them were like, totally. Yes, we've seen the same things. We've seen the convention bubble turn into basically signature farms and that kind of thing. And a lot of it were artists, and a lot of it were creatives, and a lot of it were a few people that had done conventions that did the same thing I did that dropped out, right? Yeah. Because they saw the writing on the wall. But there's some people repping their conventions and small conventions and stuff. And I was just awesome. Like, that's awesome. Yeah. Absolutely. Please post the conventions that you think are still good. Yeah, we're at like 301 likes, 40 comments, 23 shares, and 82 reposts.
Yeah, so that's pretty damn good
that's for us. I mean, I don't know if that'll equate to anything. I don't know if we've had a bump in followers.
We did. We had a few followers from it.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, we haven't had any more downloads. So we're at 800. Like we're crossing 850 downloads.
That's good. We need to have like a party if we hit 1,000 downloads.
Absolutely. I would imagine we probably will by the end of September, because I think we're averaging about 30 or so downloads per episode. We're getting some traction. We're starting to get artists that are reaching out to us. Speaking of which, if you would like to be interviewed by us, it's herebedragonsartcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We're looking for new artists, looking for people who have things to say. Just email in a question. Please do not mail either of us. Email is preferably, as you know, like or see us at a convention. We will be at Oklahoma Comic Con here in a week and a half. We'll be walking around the Comic Con handing out stickers for Here Be Dragons.
Yeah, we're gonna we're doing our collaboration of Critically Epic, so gaming gear and nerdy stuff, but we're also bringing some of our art too. So if you would like to purchase some artwork from us and have it signed, or you see us out there and you want to be like, hey, I love your Here Be Dragons Artcast. We want to hear from you. We want to hear, whether you hate us or like us, or one of the things I think that really works about this Artcast is we come from different aspects of art careers, like where I am a part-time illustrator and artist, and I have a full-time job as an art educator in an elementary school.
Alan likes cosplaying as a professional.
Yeah, I like cosplaying as a professional.
I was kidding.
But I don't want to lose that job. I appreciate that job. I appreciate my healthcare. I appreciate my 401k and my, the salary could be a little bit better in the education field, but
I think that's everywhere right now.
I get the notoriety of kids yelling at me in Walmart and stuff like that. So I do get to feel like a rock star all the time. And it definitely feeds my ego.
And trust me, folks, it's a big ego. It needs a lot of
room.
Yeah, it's been fun. We've been able to talk to some really, really cool guests. Heather Hitchman and all of the various, that was the most recent one. Our friends that we've all made connections with and whatnot have been amazing. And just feeling like we're not alone.
Yeah.
In both what's going well and what's not going well, right?
Yeah, and that the people, predominantly, a lot of artists are experiencing a lot of the same things, and that's like one of the topics we want to shed light on. Is like, and that's why we're named Here Be Dragons, because we want to talk about the struggles that artists are facing too, not just like what's going well, but what's preventing you from making artwork. Our friend Brian W. Parker just mentioned in a post that he pitched had a pitch, didn't go as well as he hoped. But the thing is about Brian is that he is so filled with creativity, wonder, and awe that I fully believe in his ability to make the things that he wants to make and bring to people to light. And some of these people that you pitch to, they may not see value in what you bring to the table right away.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to make them eat those words sometimes, and you have to make them like, damn, I really screwed up on that.
Well, and even if they love you, I mean, I've been in licensing now for almost 15 years. And even if they love you, it may not happen right away.
Yeah.
And there's a certain, like, even a lot of these licensing directors at these companies think that the pipeline has to look a certain way. And if you don't look that certain way, they're going to not even see you. I mean, I've pitched all those companies too, and I've pitched to many more multiple times, and I've still been, shot down. And it's not, you have to not take it personally and it's hard, right? That's really hard to do. When somebody tells you that they don't like your stuff, it's hard to not take it personally.
Right.
But the how many authors that we know that have been rejected hundreds of times, right? No just means no right now. And what's nice about today's work with the online and with social media and with things like that is you can do it yourself and become big. And then these companies are coming to you, right? You don't need to go the traditional route anymore. Is it easier? Well, not even easier. Is it faster? Yeah, maybe. But there are ways to do it yourself, right? Building an audience and these tools that Procreate has an animation studio now that they released just a couple of years ago. And does it suck? Absolutely, it sucks, but it's doable.
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I haven't played with it, so I don't really know. But I mean, there are people that can do some amazing things with things like Procreate and those little things. I remember when my daughter was making stop motion videos on an old Nintendo game thing, and it was just, she was making little, having her Wonder Woman doll and stuff, and making little videos with Legos and stuff, and those things evolve over time, and creativity does not have, as long as you believe in your project and you believe that somewhere out there that someone getting to see this will inspire them or change their outlook, then it's worth it. Then it's worth it.
For sure.
Reaching one person, if you reach one person, and they enjoyed what you put out into the universe, that could change. You don't know, that could change the course of their life.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and again, the ease at it, my niece, I'm trying to find the YouTube channel. My niece and her partner are making a cozy chinchilla game right now. And it's just themselves. He likes coding and she's a graphic design artist. She just graduated college. They're in Finland. And they're getting traction. They got hooked into this chinchilla rescue, and the chinchilla rescue has millions of followers and has been sharing their stuff. And now some of the rescued chinchillas are going to end up in the game. And
that's cool.
It's really cool. And I'm trying to find the channel so I could pitch it and mention it, because I would like to give her a shout out. And it might just be next time, because it's going to take me a second to find it. But yeah, and it's her and her partner, and they're designing this game that's going to be on iOS and you know, on the phone, and it's, you know, you have your little farm and you raise your little chinchillas and they come and play in your yard. Yeah, it's, and the like graphics and everything are so super cute.
That's
And
cool.
it's like I said, it's her and her partner, and they're getting traction, and they're, you know, finding a home for it and stuff like that. And that's just, again, I think we touched on this a little bit with like print on demand and stuff. Never has it been easier to be an artist. But the flip side of that is never has it been easier to be an artist, because you can do like AI stuff and put it on the same products that we can put on.
Yeah.
And you just got a box in of our critically epic gear.
Yeah. Yeah. We got pillows and some pouches and some cool stuff. So it's gonna be
stickers. I just got the notification saying stickers got in, and bookmarks will be in this weekend, and
Sweet.
You know, gaming mats. You just got in a bunch of gaming mats, but
oh yeah,
all of those products were not around 5 years ago.
Right.
I was looking at dye sublimation 5 years ago and doing it myself, and I don't want to rebuild the wheel. Like, I don't want to make products. I just want to paint and put it on products, and now we can. There's companies we can order from, whether it is directly from China or whether it is, you know, there's a lot of other companies that are, or countries that are getting into manufacturing and stuff like that. But the opportunity is there. And it sucks that we're having to do more of it now. Like, that's the nice thing about licensing, is we can go to a company and I can say, hey, I have this stuff. I want you to put it on your stuff. And they can go, oh yeah, I like your stuff. We'll put it on our stuff. And now you're not making it. But there's also the barrier to entry is much lower now than it was before.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely you can run a mini print shop or products, you know, relatively easily to your budget, on a smaller budget, or just build up inventory and then, you know, be able to go and have like a plethora of different products for your booth, which is cool, which is very cool, because a lot of people run out of wall space for artwork.
Yes.
So
especially post-convention stuff.
So you have to find practical products that they can use every day, or they can magnets, or just things that fit, or they would prioritize over just wall space. So, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's nice to be able to test stuff out too, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of the products we're going to have next weekend are testers. There to see, like, I ordered pillows and you were like, what the fuck pillows? And I was like, yeah, we're going to test this shit out to see if it's, you know, if it's something that people are interested in. But I can order 4 pillows and not have to like break the bank or run a Kickstarter trying to order 1,500. Like, when I did the first plush, the plushies are still a little different, but when I did the first plush, I needed at least minimum of 500 units per design. And I got 2 designs made, and it was 1,500 units. And trying to find a place for 1,500 plushies was a unique experience that, you know, hopefully I will have someday again. But, you know, it's those things are possible now.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go the licensing route. And I think Brian is in a really, really good place where he can take his things and, you know, take his toys and go home and play with somebody and play in somebody else's sandbox, right?
Play in somebody else's sandbox. Yeah, I think being able to do all these cool things and make all these cool things are really awesome. And like, the time has never been easier to really just jump in and be an artist, but it does take a little bit of sacrifice and work and a little bit of upfront investment.
Vanity.
Yeah, and and upfront investment too, especially with when you're trying to expand into different art markets. Like, Renfest was an investment for me. You know, it was about $1,500 investment overall, and that's just on the low end. Like, that's not even like that. Like, that's the entry level point.
Yeah, right. That was Like that's a tenth and a half of my tents.
Yeah.
But I didn't start out that way either. You know, I did 10 years in an Easy Up before I went and bought the Max that is was a $700 tent at the time, is now a $900 tent.
Well, that's with a tent. That's with signage.
Banners.
That's with banners, signage, stuff to go on tables and things like that. Making sure that you have frontal display so that your artwork is front facing. I think those are kind of important things that help like the flow and like people just be wowed by your work whenever they're walking by, because they're looking at other people's stuff too. And so you really have to present your work in the best way that you can.
Yeah. But you didn't start there either. That was, you did like just local small shows for a couple of years with just a table, some tablecloths, and some prints for
totally
a few years, right?
Art street festival stuff. It's been it's been a gradual improvement over the years, and it's exciting to see where I've been and how I'm improving and the ways that level up. Sometimes it's one step forward, two steps back, and then
that never stops.
One step forward again, but you learn a lot, and you keep plugging away, and as long as you can, even if you fail forward, then you've learned something. Like that my previous convention, I kind of like barely broke even, but I learned a lot about who I'm selling to, how I'm selling to them, and some reasons why, if I chose to do that show again, I would ask to be, in a specific area, and certain things like that.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a slow growth, right? If you start with your local street shows, and then as those do well, you invest a little bit more in your setup. You get maybe a little nicer tablecloths or a little nicer prints or a print rack or something like that. Like, I know you're seeing my whole setup in a double booth, with my 6 tables and 9-foot by 10-foot banners and all of my products. And that's 20 years of growth, right?
Yeah.
I didn't just go out and buy those. Like I said, I did a cheap Easy Up for the first 10 years, and then bought, when that Easy Up finally could not be put up anymore, I bought a Max, and then I had that Max for almost 10 years before I bought my second Max. And so it's a slow growth, but
literally, if you've ever seen Carla's work, she has one of the best displays at, like, I would say at the Renfest, because she has you can see her work from 40 feet away, and just there were people beelining to your work from 40 to 50 feet away. And they saw it. They were like, oh my gosh, I saw this. I had to come see it. And it was pretty incredible to see that at Norman, and see that setup. So, and definitely was an eye-opening experience about the level of work entailed in making a successful event.
For sure. Well, and I mean, not just an event, but a career overall. The sacrifices and the things that I do. And like I said, I think in the last actual full episode was, I have $2,700 floating in fees right now for shows, right? Almost 1,000 of that alone is Kansas City Ren Fair. So it's, and again, you don't have to jump into that. For the love of God, don't jump into that. Make sure you're testing the waters and seeing where you're supposed to be and stuff like that. And, but I definitely, missed weddings and parties and friends get together so I could stay home and paint or do a show or that kind of thing. Like, the shows have always come first. I have been fortunate to work part-time jobs or full-time jobs that worked around my show schedule. But I worked really hard at that. So.
And Kansas City is exploratory for you, right? That's one of those shows, if it pans out, you might come back. If it doesn't work out, you might not come back.
Yeah, exactly. Let's hope I at least break even, because breaking even is still a lot of money. When I get back from this show, I have to order stock for that one. And I'm going, I just paid off 2 credit cards. There's a lot of room on them now.
Oh, man.
That's not what I want to do.
It's a never-ending cycle.
It's a never-ending cycle. hey, look, these things are on sale. These banners are on sale. I better order them now while they're, 20% cheaper than when I can normally get them.
Yeah.
Got to pay attention to that kind of stuff.
I think the great thing about artwork, though, at being an artist, though, too, is that the level of participation in capitalism and in the market space as a professional is tiered, right? Like you can put into it how much you want to it. If you just want to make your work and show it to people, you can do that anywhere.
For sure.
You can put it in a coffee shop. You can, you do not have to sell your work in a convention space talking to other people. You can just put it up somewhere local if you have connections with people and be like, hey, can I sell my work here? And they might take a percentage, but like there's no, people like your work, they buy. So
well, and you were like in a co-op gallery for a while too, and a lot of small, large cities have these where you go and you work for a couple of hours a week and you can hang your stuff in their gallery, right? That's there's one in Roswell. That's the closest one. There's a couple here, but they're pay to play. And there's not, dragons aren't quite something that goes well in those spaces. It's a little specialized. Yeah. But as you said, if you want to there's nothing wrong with doing like your local street festival twice a year.
No.
And that doesn't make you any less of an artist at all versus somebody like me who does, 15 shows a year and has a setup at this point that's probably several thousands of dollars. But, I made that choice a long time ago. So,
well, since this is the mini-sode, we should think about wrapping it up. Is there anything that you want to, maybe we should do the outro kind of similar to our Here Be Dragons.
Sure.
Let people know where we're at on all the.
Thanks
all
for
the
listening to
things.
Here Be Dragons. We're on all the places. Substack, Apple Podcasts. Substack is the main place. We're going to start going live there. Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcast, Pocket Pod. We're on like all the podcast places right now.
We're on the Kara app for
We're
artists.
on the Kara app. We're on Facebook, Kara, Instagram. Oh my gosh, where else are we posting? Like everywhere. We're trying to be everywhere.
I think I started making our Blue Sky today. So
cool.
So that we could be on Blue Sky as well. So we're trying to put ourselves into places that have a little bit better algorithmically.
And where artists are. We have a Facebook group now.
Yeah. So
we're starting to get things rolling. It's starting to pick up. People are starting to hear us and notice us. And we have our first viral clip. So
and when we hit 1,000 downloads, we are going to party.
Yes, we're at 850, just over 850 downloads right now. So we're moving right along. It's fun. It's fun.
We want to hear from you though. So if you have any thoughts, comments, or ideas about like directions we can take or you just want to come on and talk with us as an artist or creative storyteller, you do not have to be in the professional space. We talk to, social media marketers. We've talked to quite a bit of people tangentially into the art market. So
for sure. Yep. Here Be Dragons Artcast.gmail.com. And the website is Here Be Dragons Artcast. So thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.